method to rear trout in the wild, in the lakes, streams, or anywhere. It's been over 100 years since they have started making these boxes, but they all have faults in them. There's a lot of adaptive features. Some have over advantage of the other. This one doesn't. We've worked through all step by step. We worked on this about 3 years. Basically, we started with the concept of a tray that goes through automatic dishwashers in a restaurant. I looked at it and said, well, if I take the bottom out of it and I put some rods in there to support a basket, put the eggs in the basket, put in the stream, and voila, it works. The concept is different in this box. This box is placed on the stream bed, and the others have been buried into the rock. This has more even flow around, and when the animals hatch, albion go through the small holes, and they go into the rock below. And then they develop naturally for about 2 weeks. They consume their egg sac, and when they're getting hungry, then they swim out the ports when they're ready, and they go into the wild. It gives them protection. It keeps them from being eaten by their own kind, cannibalism, and all kinds of predators. We designed this box for any kind of environment. If you notice the holes in the corners, those holes actually are there to lock the box in a stream bed. In other words, chain it so animals can't tear into it.
We're talking about bears
or yes, such as raccoons, etc. And it locates the box here, and the stream can't move it. The other feature this box has, the smooth top, is to make the current flow over the box without turbulating and whipping up the eggs. You don't want eggs moving around. That's why in the box you have these holes. The eggs locate within these little holes.
well, that's depending on the species of fish. I mean, king salmon.
Size, you're right. We have different sizes for different steelhead and also your salmon.
Correct.
The concept makes it so different. The eggs are not moving around. They locate in these holes. They hatch. Then they hatch, they go through the holes into the bottom, and there they sleep, so to speak, for a couple of weeks. This one's for rainbow trout and steelhead. But the same theory holds true of those eggs. That means you can use this box anywhere. If you want to augment population, that's a simple method. You trap the animals in the location. You're not changing DNA whatsoever. You're trapping the animals, milking the eggs and sperm, mixing and putting the eggs right here. Put the lid on, it's like putting something in the oven, and these feet located in locks down like that. These hooks hold it together. It just hooks inside, right there.
You got 4 of those.
4 of these, tighten it back up.
On a pile of rocks.
Yep, or sand bed. Okay, now there's how it works. Very simple. It locks together. Almost indestructible. You can stand on it. place it in the stream bed.
So the circulation is very important.
Yes. Circulation is all the time going through the box, over and under the eggs.
It's the silt. No, don't move out. So the siltation on an egg, if it's buried in rock.
That's a good point. That's a damn good point. This also prevents siltation. Your organics always floating in the stream bed. Well, it just keeps going. It's kind of like a narrow edge, a portion of water that's actually flowing in the box.
So should this be just underwater?
Yes. It can be at any depth. Any depth. The water will skate across it. It won't turbulate. It won't move the eggs, pull them up, do the surges, because this cuts off the flow. Basically, it's like an airfoil on an airplane. That's where we got the idea from. But if you have a faster stream, tilt the box into the stream. It skates right. It doesn't turbulate and bruise the eggs, and bruise the egg dies.
I'm going to go out in a little while and look at the streams, artificial stream, your runs and so on. And last time I was here, when you had some fish spawning, and they were just laying eggs everywhere.
Sure.
Right? And as fast as they were laying them, some were running in there or eating them, or
That's true.
they were floating around. So this kind of condenses your eggs. Well, what do they call it? A nest
Or a red.
A red.
The fish will make a little place in the rockers.
And they're very picky.
Yes, and that's due to the flow. They know where the current is most advantageous to put their eggs.
And they don't lay a whole bunch of eggs. I watched her lay maybe half a dozen, and then she swam away.
Yeah.
Came back.
Go over there.
Right. But this way, those eggs
Located
are located right here. So they pretty much is going to be a school of baby fish that are going to be located here, correct?
That's correct.
As opposed to,
well, they'll be eaten after discovering the mission of the other animals.
will they swim out and come back to this for protection? No, once they go out, they move.
They'll find any dark spot. They like to get on the rocks, other things.
Okay, so the advantages to this for augmenting a stream that is depleted of a number of fish, the advantages are that you don't have to bring the fish in. You can take what few native fish there are, provided the fishing game will give you the permission to do this, correct? Fishing game is a big player.
It's a jurisdiction. They're the protector of the animals within California. They're experimenting with this now. They have the certification, but now they would like to work with it. It's new, it's entirely different. There are, as you know, there are 2 other boxes on the market, but Noah has tried one of the boxes. They lost every egg in the box. Why? The eggs got fungus and killed everyone. It was a very small box. Remember, I said these eggs are separated on the screens. In that small box, they're all together.
So you literally put them on here, just shake, they'll all just go into the hole.
Yeah, that's basically it. You put it in the water and just dump the eggs in, cut them. And you just ban them if you want to spread them out. I think this is the most economical and most pragmatic way to bring our populations up in our depleted streams. You got to remember the curve of the animal's life history. It had a lot of water years ago. We have high population. People come in, we suck the water out of the substrata. We lower the streams and more, you might say, growth and other things that inhibited the spawning of the fish, and also you get greater predation on people fishing illegally. So you get going downhill in the population. You can't bring it back up without getting rid of the people, which is messing up. So you can reinforce or augment your population this any way you like. That's why we got 98%. Because mostly the eggs are eaten by cannibalism or predation. Correct. It's a high protein source, and the animals can smell that protein. Oh man, it's like a magnet. Yeah. So this actually protects the eggs, and through the hatching stage, to the point where they can go out and swim.
Okay. Well, I think that's pretty nifty what we got here. So now I'm going to go outside and we're going to see other stuff. This is where, this is the old tank where they used to raise the baby fish before the boxes. We did our first study with the box in here. It's all with compressed air. Here we go out into the hatchery. This is one of the many runs here out the back. Stream here where we put the box the first time. So the fish have hatched into this stream and they are not being fed and they are adapting to this wild environment. It's about 1,000 fish in this little stream right now. All completely artificial. And they can be corralled and put into these runs. Tell me about this facility, Gene.
What?
About this facility.
Oh man, where did you start? It's just that...
I remember when you built it.
Well, it's an effort to replicate nature artificially in any kind of environment.
That's a really good way to put it. It's a artificial stream in this habitat, seeing how with ambient temperatures and utilizing nature by planting the trees and the flow of the water that Gene's created with this habitat to see how the reproductive success or the growth success of these trout are, and then utilizing the hatch basket. This is a test area for the hatch basket that Gene's designed.
We wanted to see the progress under this artificial environment. Noah is going to move forward.
Good.
Already, but
Yeah.
Fish and Game is the only one that is in reserve.
Now NOAA is the
The
national.
federal.
It's the National Oceanographic
They
Atmospheric Association.
They run the show.
In certain departments.
Most of the departments.
I think they run the show.
Yeah, but can you see now where we are? We're moving,
Yeah.
and the need of your accuracy and logging this, what we're doing, is going to be rewarding. Possibly that will attract a foundation funding.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So you're asking about money. That's a potential. No one else has been able to do this.
Yeah.
If it can be done, how it can, well, we're keeping track of it, etc., etc.
I guess what the goal is, saying just pure science is admirable, but we need to hone in on what the benefit to the larger context of society is.
Well,
of the research being done, and
really,
then target
a point.
organization that has money that's interested in those altruistic
You have
motives.
a damn good point here. I can't look beyond that. Oh, you understand?
Yeah.
I'm interested in establishing facts.
Yeah.
I work with facts only. So now, if the next step is to be taken, like you're suggesting, it's going to have to be moved into another environment.
We are living in a time right now where freshwater sources are disappearing. Numbers of fish are definitely disappearing. We're being forced into cutting back. They're cutting back on all the fisheries on the East Coast. The cod fishing's over. There are restrictions on the amount of fish that we can catch. You've got these huge restrictions here for commercial fishing on the West Coast. The Channel Islands have become these nurseries.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just in my lifetime, I'm 62, and I remember, you know, the plethora of fish that we used to catch in Santa Barbara was unbelievable. And I was watching also what kind of fish were in the marketplace. Now you go, it's tilapia and mackerel, and where's the ahi and I mean, it's so rare now. You've got to get it freeze dried. It's got to come from Fiji or.
Well, to answer your question the way I see it, what we're doing, we're opening people's minds for potential artificial rearing of fish in any kind of environment, and utilizing the water for farming. You don't have to fertilize. It's cut down on the contamination of excessive nitrates. And I know this is not going to be acceptable, but I have to say it through ignorance. Hatcheries contaminate more than they wish us to know.
I mean, it's definitely a huge problem in the world right now.
Now, look at the silver lining. We're looking into the science part of enhancing the food supply in a natural environment or an artificial method, but making it like a natural environment.
I find it really interesting that we're in Nipomo, California, where there isn't a big river. You're using water that's full of salt, and somehow in this warm water, I mean, when I associate trout, I associate it with a cold stream. This water is what, 65, 70 degrees?
No, 60.
It's 60 degrees.
In the summer, it gets up with this much
It's shallow.
surface. It's going to get up around 65. Moving back to your line of reasoning, which makes good sense to open the doors, that we've got to learn the animal's potential first. This is what we're studying here. We're studying the potential of this animal and its adaptive qualities. That's all we're doing. And if we can take this and apply it to other areas, we've gained an awful lot. That's quite a contribution.
It would be interesting if in a decade or even sooner there's communities set up where we're all taking care of a setup like this that's attached to some sort of living, like a contained system like you were talking about. So we're harvesting vegetables and fish and working together almost like a community garden, where we're minimizing our impact on the natural world around us by utilizing systems like this to live.